One of the key questions in the carbon tax debate is how much a tonne of carbon will cost emitters. Well, we came a step closer to learning the answer today when the government's climate change advisor told us what he'd like to see, around $25 a tonne, to increase by 4% a year in real terms. And Professor Ross Garnaut is arguing a large chunk of the tax's revenue should be given back to families through tax cuts. More from our political correspondent Tom Miggleton.
There was more than a tinge of green in Canberra for this year's St Patrick's Day celebrations, attended by both the Prime Minister and the opposition leader.
I understand there was a flurry this morning when his staff tried to explain to him it was a green event about a saint. And he had to be convinced it was Patrick and not Bob.
And it's good to see the Prime Minister wearing green without any prompting from Bob Brown.
A joke to be sure, but the Prime Minister seems sensitive to criticism she's beholden to the Greens leader and pushed back last night by calling his party inflexible.
If they are extreme, as she now says, why did she form a government with them?
But Bob Brown's not upset by the Prime Minister's comments.
Once upon a time it was extreme to educate all children. And until very recently it was extreme to think that you might take the economy from being based on fossil fuels to renewable energy. If Labor keeps taking our policies, I think they'll keep doing all right.
Climate change advisor Ross Garnaut might argue he's as much to do with Labor's carbon plans, and he's offering the government a way to sell the carbon tax to a sceptical public by giving half the money it would raise to middle and lower income earners in the form of tax cuts.
I think it's very important to save the planet from cooking. If at the same time you can reform the tax system and make us all more productive, then that's a good thing. And you can do it at the same time without any compromising of the environmental objective.
And today he indicated what price the government will need to set to meet its carbon reduction targets.
Based on past modelling, to meet this target, it is likely that Australia's carbon price would need to commence at around $25.
That's his view of where a starting price should be. Obviously it's an important input into our considerations, but we've got a lot more detailed work to do in the coming weeks and months.
The opposition's claiming Professor Garnaut is helping make the case against the carbon tax.
Professor Garnaut has confirmed what the coalition has been saying, that the carbon price will have to be $25 a tonne or more. A $25 a tonne carbon price means $300 a year on your electricity bill. It means 6.5 cents a litre on your petrol bill.
Professor Garnaut has in fact criticised the direct action approach to climate change favoured by the opposition leader, a criticism echoed tonight by a former Liberal leader.
They say they have a direct action plan. Well, I'm an economist, I can tell you, from my side of the fence, there is an implicit price on carbon in that direct action plan. And I'd be amazed if it is not substantially higher than anything Julia Gillard will announce in the next 3 to 5 years.
The committee advising the government on the carbon scheme meets tomorrow in Canberra, a step closer to that vital decision on what the eventual price of a tonne of carbon will be under the scheme. If there's one thing Professor Garnaut and the government agree on, it's that it's now or never for a carbon tax. Tom Miggleton, Lateline.